about the Messi thing.
Anything else on the Messi front, Chris, before we move on?
No, I'm done. I'm
falling out. I told you, I never want to bring this guy's name up again.
I don't know, man. This Messi thing is just a freaking mess. What a disaster.
I don't want to hear this name ever again until it's official. But they got me back.
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 98 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and as always, alongside me is Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
I don't know if you know this, but you know who else is back? Aliens in Mexico. They just unboxed like if this is a toy time, right? We got aliens out of Mexico, like they've been stored in a storage, and now they're just being unboxed for the world to see.
If it didn't look like the pictures that I saw, if it didn't look exactly like the Independence Day and all the very, very typical Hollywood aliens, I might believe it a little more. But it looks exactly like something you would see out of a Hollywood movie. So I'm not buying.
You want to keep being that guy, then you're just gonna get fucking laser beamed, and you're done. I mean,
I'm 100%
keep being that guy.
I'm not believing any of it yet.
You're gonna be one of the first ones gone. Good luck, buddy.
Right. Well, I saw some people talking crap about how we get on at 10:04, 10:05. We got on at 10 o'clock, just about on the dot. I want to say, so we're not that bad. We're not that bad. All right, so we got Atlanta coming up on Saturday. Was there something you wanted to touch on before we come and bring on Tommy to talk Atlanta?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, Javier Morales, which was our coach for like 5.5 minutes, aka our babysitter, right? His son, Santiago Morales, who's 16 years old, gets signed. And I just want everybody to know, I just want everybody to show some fucking respect, okay? Because you guys were shitting on Phil Neville for getting his son signed to a contract. Shitting on both of them. Phil Neville's playing in some like third-tier team in like Kendall. And you guys are so ecstatic about this kid, Santiago Morales. Get out. Get out.
I think people, well, first of all, it's a couple things there before we bring on Tommy. One, I think it was unfair what they did about the whole Harry Neville thing, because I thought he was a lot better than people give him credit for.
Yes.
And second, he was actually playing. And I think that's why people were getting annoyed, because he was actually getting playing time. I thought he played pretty well. I mean, decent enough, right? Where people shouldn't be complaining. But Santiago just signed. We haven't seen him on the pitch yet. So let's see what happens. And also, he's not the head coach. So
I mean, whatever.
Different.
Is the janitor at the stadium going to get his kid signed? Like, what are we doing here?
People wouldn't complain about that. But people wouldn't complain about that.
Of course they're not, because they don't know he's the janitor. But I mean, this kid gets all the praise. He's such a crafty, and get out of here, crafty. Get out of here. Get out.
He might
get
be
out.
good.
I'm done.
It's the head coach's decision who gets playing time. So I think people were annoyed that Harry was getting playing time because they felt like Phil was being unfair with that. If this kid gets playing time, it's not because it's Tata's son, right? Javier Morales is going to have no say over Tata's decision. So I think it's a little different.
This right here, I mean, by Don Cafecito, that's why you're the Don, baby.
No, if it was Tata's family member, it'd be different. But I disagree completely.
Well,
but
that's my rant.
Anyway, so we got Atlanta coming up on Saturday. Another, I guess you could say, must win. I mean, we at this point, I don't think the games are must wins since we're only 6 points out with 2 games in hand. But
yeah,
you feel a lot better if we win. And to help preview the Atlanta game, as always, for like the 7th time this season, we got our guy Tommy One Time joining us to talk a little Atlanta United. How are you doing, Mr. Tommy One Time?
Aliens exist. Quit fighting it, Daniel.
I don't doubt it, but it's not the little baby ones that have the Men in Black face. It looked exactly like the one where the mask kind of like opens up and the little guy.
Oh, I saw.
It looks exactly like that.
Listen, but like, are we the deciders of what aliens look like? Aliens are aliens, bro.
Daniel is apparently.
I feel like Daniel's the arbiter on alien structure.
100%. 100%. They're not going to be like 2 feet tall and look like the Men in Black alien. I'm sorry, this is not happening. I'm not with it. I don't believe it. And out of all places, Mexico, come on.
Listen,
So
it's because they
anyway,
kept that they kept it stored, bro. They kept it stored. They're
and
responsible with their aliens.
yeah,
This is the plot of Independence Day, so we're getting weird here.
All right. So we got Atlanta coming up on Saturday, and as always, Tommy joins us. They look like Messi.
That's
look.
good one. Nice one, Giuseppe.
100% look like the little guys went to chill in Peru.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what little guys he's talking about.
He's talking about the aliens, bro. Because
but they
Peru
found them in
came through
Mexico.
and they're like, yeah, we got aliens too, bro. Now
People
they
on
haven't
audio
shown
right
their
now are
aliens, though.
people on audio right now are so confused. All right. So we
Jesus,
got-
Mike. I look like a Wish version of Orlando Bloom. If I tell my wife
Orlando
this
Bloom's
is
a
what I'm going to be
cutie
called
pie.
for a while.
I feel like this show has gotten off to a
I
horrible
hear my
start.
wife
This
laughing in
Is
the
this Herons After
background.
Dark since it's 10 o'clock? Like the
It's
Pac-12, like after games after 10 o'clock or the Pac-12 after dark? That's where we're at.
I mean, I feels that way because this has gone off to a terrible start. But let's stick
What?
with it.
This is a good start, baby. Let's rock and roll. Let's go.
Like Tank said, see Men in Black, little guys like Danny said. It look. If you watch that movie where I think it was like a face or something opens up and it's a little alien and he's like out of breath and he's like laying there, that's what it looks like.
That's what's in Mitch McConnell. That's when he freezes. Like that's when Mitch McConnell freezes. He's got the laser. I think of Mars Attacks. That's what I think of the aliens. Like that's a better movie than Independence Day.
Mars Attacks is a funnier movie. It's a different type of movie. Mars Attacks used to be a big deal back then. Mars Attacks.
That was great.
So
Atlanta.
Go ahead.
Atlanta.
Let's go to Atlanta. Before we get into the regular on the pitch talk, I was looking into flights to go to Atlanta because I was booking a flight to go to Atlanta in November. And I got a round trip flight to Atlanta for 4 people, my wife and my 2 kids, for $170. And I was like, holy crap, it is really cheap to fly to Atlanta. Right away, looked into this weekend. Cheapest flight is like $150. So I was like, okay, so obviously the airlines know what's going on this weekend. So I didn't look into the tickets for the actual game. What are the prices looking like to get into the stadium?
It's gross. Like I think the cheapest right now at the top of the 300 section is like $90.
And that's nosebleed.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
but you're talking about like an 80,000 seat stadium, though.
Yeah, they're expecting 75,000 people there. But what's weird is like if you go to any match that's any match there when they open up the entire stadium, because it's usually not open for every single game. Usually they plan for like 35, 40,000 people. When Messi, signs, the next day they open everything up. And the cheapest seats available, I think they started originally at $150 for the nosebleeds. Like normally for a match they're like $30 to sit up there. So they're already like just saying, you know what? People want to see Messi. Let's charge them way more money. Sad by the club. I just think that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. But I mean, if people are paying it, I get it. Now, let's get into the debate that Tommy and I have had since the beginning of June.
Do you want my Venmo now?
I said no way Messi plays. I thought that they would use the international break, him just coming off of it, as an excuse for him not to play. But he didn't play against Bolivia.
My tummy hurts.
Yeah, no, I mean I get it. Like he's playing like a million feet in the altitude or whatnot, so I get it. But I'm starting to come around to the idea that he might play. He's not starting. That I don't see. He's not running around there for 90 minutes. And if it were up to me, obviously it's not, but if it were up to me and they tell me if Messi doesn't play, you lose, I'll take the L. I'd rather him not play on that stupid-ass turf. I'm a Jets fan. I just lost Aaron Rodgers to stupid-ass turf on Monday night. I don't want my players playing on turf. Just let the whole team rest. Who cares about Atlanta? Let them waste their money on their stupid stadium. They can enjoy their, 30-cent beers,
$3 beers.
Yeah, and let them just watch their players train and practice, and we'll just stay in Miami because no need to play on that stupid-ass turf. I'm good. Don't risk any of our players' health. But my understanding is that we're gonna play on that crap anyway. Tommy, you're
So
sticking with your everybody's playing. Do you think Messi starts?
no.
Okay.
But I expect, because I think we bet a beer, which was going to be a cheap bet for me here. I said when Messi hits the field, I expect the money in my Venmo account. And then
When I
Chris,
see
you remember
I'm
this?
gonna throw a bunch of quarters at you.
You said, let's make it $100. That's what you said.
But you didn't
You wanted to up it. You got aggressive. And now look at you. You come in here. Yeah, he might come on the field. Now, were you this angry before Monday? Like
No, I became
Monday night, you're
a lot
pumped.
more
Aaron
upset.
Rodgers comes out with that flag, and now look at you. You're just an angry old man yelling at me about turf and keeping all your players at home.
I mean, he's a Jets fan. I mean, this is the first game of the year. He already knew he wasn't going to make the championship.
He's down 4 plays into it because of dumbass turf. Like, I'm good. Like, I do not want to see Messi stay. Now, what we were talking about last episode was, all right, he plays. Messi doesn't really run, right? We all understand he doesn't really run much. So as long as he doesn't get injured on those like 3 or 4 explosive runs he makes in that game, he'll be okay. My worry is that for some reason he'll start. I can't imagine him starting. I don't think he'll start, but as long as he doesn't start, if they do what they did against the Red Bulls, so he came in like the 55th minute or whatever, he plays 30 plus minutes. I don't want that, but I'll take that much better than him starting. I mean, I guess we'll get into it. Tommy, how has Atlanta looked since the Leagues Cup came back, or Leagues Cup was over?
Well, they're a completely different team. So
Right.
they brought in the transfer window. They really changed themselves. So they got Tristan Mayumba in the midfield. He was available for the Leagues Cup game against Miami. Didn't end up playing. He's completely changed the midfield since Darlington Nagbe left. The end of the 2019 season, I think. Their midfield has just been crap. They bring this guy in. He's completely changed the pace that is in the midfield. So he's been a lot of fun to watch. They ended up not starting him in the last game before the break because he had played so much. They wanted to give him a little bit of break, and the team just went back to just looking crappy like they did prior to him coming in. So he's absolutely important. Atlanta United has said that they're playing all their starters. I know Miles Robinson just played for the U.S. He'll be playing. I saw the question above. Thiago Mata is definitely going to be playing. He didn't even get called up to the full Argentina team. He just got up to the juniors. He did play the first game, ended up captaining the team. So I think that's big for him there. So yeah, they first that's one part. And then they completely changed their wings. Their wings have been pathetic, I'd say here. They bring in a DP, Saba, who has gotten 2 goals in 3 games for them. He's been real impressive. Jean de Silva has come in. He has scored, I believe, 2 goals as well. Scored a banger a couple game right before the break. So their wingers are now scoring goals, and they really haven't had anyone dynamic. They had Aruju, a DP, who they completely overpaid for, that barely scored goals, just kicking field goals, in Mercedes-Benz Stadium instead of playing soccer. He's gone. So they've got talent there, and it seems like this team has become different. They played Cincinnati. That was the second game, but before the break, they should have won that. They should have won the game. Instead, they wanted to just get in a track race with them, just go back and forth. You don't do that with Cincinnati. You try to shut them down. They ended up blowing a lead. It is what it is. But this team has looked a lot better since the break.
And Gaki's playing, right?
Yeah, Giakoumakis is playing. He's another yellow card away from getting suspended. This guy, he is physical. He doesn't care. He gets frustrated. So if Miami can frustrate him early on in the game, you'll see him. Like he plays on the edge, and it's fun to watch, but you just know, like, okay, he's not going to be playing the next game because he's going to get a yellow in this game. I'm almost for sure. And then, he'll be out for the next one.
Now, when you said that Atlanta's look completely different, you're talking about just the first 2 games after the Leagues Cup, right? Against the Sounders and Nashville, because you guys destroyed Nashville.
Well, they went 2-1-1, Danny. So I mean, they're kind of on the climb up so far.
Yeah, they came out against Seattle and Nashville. Like you said, they lost to Cincy and then they tied against Dallas.
Yeah, they were winning. They were winning against Cincinnati. And then I think it was like in the 60th minute, ended up blowing a lead. And then Dallas, they ended up having to come back and get the draw. But I mean, it's impressive. I mean, Atlanta right now, if you look at their schedule, what they have left, they have the hardest schedule left in the league. So what they have to do, they've got to earn themselves in, because they don't want to be in that last play-in game. I just went back and re-looked at the playoff format. Like, that's what you don't want to be in, especially because you have to go into a best of 3 after that. No, you don't want to be part of that.
I'm calling it right now, September 13th, 2023. 8th and 9th seed is going to be Atlanta, Inter Miami. We're going to have you on 2 more times this season.
Jesus.
Watch.
That's probably going to happen. I mean, Danny,
I'll throw out.
And Tommy, you're not wrong either, because in the next 6 games, I mean, obviously you have us, a completely revamped team. You have DC United and Montreal, who those 2 teams are kind of a toss-up. They don't put too much fear in my heart. But you got Philly, and then you got Columbus, which is a slobber knocker of a team, and then Cincinnati's still one of the top teams in the league. So yeah, I mean, you guys definitely have some tough treading in the rest of the season.
Yeah, but you guys are 7 points clear of the 8th seed. I think you guys are fine.
I think so.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
So I have to admit to you guys something. I made a bet on Miami to win MLS Cup the day before Messi signs, and I got some crazy odds. And they've been offering some payouts for me, and you guys are going to be disappointed in me. I chickened out.
Oh, you
took the payout?
I took the payout. It was $180. I took a $10 bet. Took the $180. I bet it on a football game. Doubled it on that. But I am embarrassed because I got nervous because I'm thinking, Tata says Messi's not going to play at least 3 games. He's going to be missing some games, and then I'm thinking, okay, they're going to miss the playoffs. I'm going to get nothing. Screw it. Let's take the money. But I'm starting to regret it a little bit. And like for you guys, you hope that we beat DC and Montreal, because those are the 2 teams, right at the bottom there.
Above us.
No, and we play a lot of the teams that we still have to jump. We play Charlotte twice, which is in 11.
Twice, yeah.
We played Chicago. We play NYCFC. So a lot of the teams that we have to kind of just leapfrog over, we play against them. So, but yeah, I'm surprised, man. $10, you got to let that ride. Oh, look at that. Lewis agrees. $10, you got to let that ride. Like, hey, come on.
I would have won 1,100. But like I said, I took that money and I bet it on Oregon covering this weekend and turned it into 400. So I'm happy.
What can I ask you a question? What's your obsession with ducks?
It's just a thing. One day I was just out walking, looked at a duck and said, "That's my team."
For those who don't know, he loves the Anaheim Ducks.
The Anaheim Ducks.
Just
gotta stick with the animal.
When I played hockey, I used to play for the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, everybody loved them back in the 90s because of the movies.
And I'm a 90s kid, so there we go.
I got you.
There's a couple questions in the chat here, and somebody's asking, Broward Heron was asking, is Thiago going to be playing this Saturday, Tommy? Do you have any information on that?
100%. I mean, Gonzalo Pineda said the entire starting lineup is going to be playing. So you expect him to go in full, even with Miles Robinson coming back. I think today he officially came back. They'll rest him. He'll be ready for Saturday. And I'm going. I'll be there. I'm flying in for this. This was supposed to be the Joseph Martinez game, right? The Joseph Martinez return. I didn't know it was going to turn into this huge shit show, right? Like, all of a sudden it's Tata, then it's Messi. I bought the tickets the day before Messi signed. So I'm in the supporter section, $35 a ticket. Like, that's nice. A great deal. Right now they're going for $200.
Does Tata get a standing ovation when he gets introduced?
Oh, 100%. I mean, for sure. And then even Joseph Martinez. So they announced earlier today that they're going to be doing some type of pregame ceremony just to acknowledge, that everything that he's done for the team. So
and they're doing it pregame because they're not sure if he's actually going to get play in the game.
Yeah, I'll do pregame.
Yeah, makes sense because he might not play.
Howard the Duck was a sweet movie. The duck woman love scene, though, that was a little bit too much.
Darkwing Duck was also awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Darkwing Duck was phenomenal.
I think we ask you this every time. You said you got a couple new players and you brought them all up, but we ask this every time anyway because we have a lot of new viewers. Players to look out for in Atlanta.
So Yakimakis, obviously, he was the
Yaki,
Joseph.
Yaki. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was the Joseph Martinez replacement. He leads the leagues in goals per minute. Like you go look at the stats of as far as who's in the Golden Boot race, and you see where he is and how many minutes he played. It's ridiculous. I mean, he's great. I mean, obviously Thiago Almada is huge. This is that's Almada and Messi. They've got a huge connection. I think they called Almada young Messi for quite some time before he even came on to Atlanta United. Like I said, the wings are big there. Mayamba's there. Everything else is okay. I saw the question about the defense. They're still allowing goals. That's something wasn't going to get fixed this year. They're going to leak goals for sure. Like I don't see this being a 1-0
Still the worst
game.
defense in the league.
Yeah, and you've seen improvement, right? Like they shut out Seattle. They come back and they beat Nashville. Yeah, Nashville was a big game.
Nashville's all defensive though. Like they're not going to put up a lot of goals.
Also, that was a game where they had to win because Nashville was just exhausted, right? They just came off the loss to you guys.
Yeah.
So they came in. They tried to start everybody, but they shut down pretty quick. Man, this guy, these wish jokes just keep on coming here.
No, Mikey V will set somebody up for a wish double at any given moment. Almada is equal to a wish bought Messi. Almada's good, man. Gotta. He's a good.
I mean,
player.
he's great at free kicks. Like if we just let Messi and Almada just take kicks,
free kick off,
that'd be fun. Yeah.
All right. So tactics and formations. Did you guys change anything up since your wingers became? Because you said your wingers sucked before. Anything different now since the last time we saw you?
Just more talent.
You guys played a 4-2-3-1, I think, last time, or 4. It was weird.
Yeah, it was like 5 in the back there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back to 4. I mean, we're back to more traditional there. In the midfield, like I said, you have Mayamba, who's good. The other midfielder that you have is where the people are worried, right? Like you have either Josetu or you have Sejdic. Josetu's been playing most of the games. He's okay. Like he's just okay. It's the attack. You can win the game in the midfield against Atlanta, but just watch Mayamba. Like he's the guy I want everyone to watch. If you're watching Atlanta and you've watched all the other games, watch him out there because this team it was boring. The midfield was boring. Like you just didn't expect anything exciting to happen. He makes things happen out there. So I'm excited to see him go against this team and to see how different it is than when we played, in Miami, because that game was terrible for Atlanta. And the other thing is, and I'm sure you guys talk about it every week, when the first time a team plays Miami, they're just starstruck. Like it just seems like that's what you hear from everybody. It's like they're just starstruck. I don't think Atlanta's going to get that because they were. That team was 100% starstruck, and they didn't foul. I don't think they even touched Messi once. Like that. That's what my thing is here today. Foul the shit out of him. I know you don't want to hear that. Foul Messi. If he comes out, foul him on the turf, Daniel, on the turf, and let's just see what happens.
Well, I promise you, who is going to get fouled? Our punching bag, Busquets. Busquets just gets hammered.
Cut the body.
I've noticed that.
It's like the refs are like, you know what? We're not gonna let anybody touch Messi, so you can fuck up Busquets all you want. Like that's how they, I guess, feel comfortable leveling the things out. So, all right, Chris. Before we keep going with Atlanta, I'm kind of curious to hear what you think because I've heard a lot of people bring it up. Joseph, do you think he plays at all?
I mean, I think that he's going to play. I think he's probably going to come off the bench, though. I mean, with this game that Campana had with 2 goals, do you see him overpassing Campana? Even though, I mean, a lot of people could say, well, he's coming back from his, his time with Venezuela. But do you see that happening, Danny? I don't see it happening.
Well, the last time that we had a fully healthy squad, neither one of them started. I don't know if you remember this.
Well, yeah, Facundo Farias took over.
So it just because I say he might not play doesn't mean that Campana is going to be playing. Like we don't know what to expect, honestly. Now, because Campana has been playing well, I do think Campana gets the start. But I don't know if Joseph sees the field at all.
Well, and not only
He
that,
didn't see the field for Venezuela.
yeah, that's not good. I mean, he played. The thing is, Tata played with a little bit of a limited squad last game. So, I mean, of course he's going to start Campana. Who else is he going to start in his place? So with all of his players intact and ready to start against Atlanta, I could see that he even goes with Farias over both Joseph and Campana. I mean, there's people. Mikey V was talking about Martinez, aka Benitez, that because all he does is just score penalty kicks. That's sad, man. That's sad.
Am I? Maybe I'm off. Maybe it's because I'm a little off today. But it says Joseph has scored 3 goals. Somebody just commented that he scored 3 goals in his last 3 games, or 3 goal contributions. Is that true? Am I forgetting something? Did he really contribute to 3 goals over the last 3 times he played? Because I don't remember that.
Contributed to 3 goals in the last 3
Yes.
MLS games?
I guess. I don't remember that. Maybe I'm completely wrong and I'm just forgetting, but I don't remember that at all. But possibly.
I mean, like off the ball contribution, like distracting people, or like
well,
assist,
I mean,
or like off the
he
assist. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Like if he's talking like that, then maybe, because I probably praised Joseph more than anybody for the runs that he makes, because people don't give him enough credit for the way that he makes runs diagonally away from the goal to kind of take some of the defenders away and open up spaces for Robert Taylor running in behind, or Messi, or anybody else. And he doesn't get credit for those. So I do think that he should, but if he's not talking like that, I have no idea. So maybe, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Tommy, are you going to be disappointed if Joseph doesn't hit the field?
I mean, I would like to see it. I wore my Joseph Martinez 100 goal shirt for this. I'd like to see it for sure. I didn't. You know what? I've lit the candle the last couple times I've been on with you guys, and we've lost. And then Joseph obviously scored, right? Like I think he scored 2
twice.
Yeah, I don't want to see that again. So no, I'm not lighting the candle.
We're not doing that today. And there's people chiming in here. Danny Wallet says that he scored an extra time against Cincinnati. Somebody else also mentioned that he scored scored a banger in extra time. Yeah, in the Open Cup. So same game.
Yeah, that was off the assist by Kremaki. I remember that one.
But you're talking about in the last 3 MLS games.
They said 3 in the last 3 games that he played. And I
mean, the last 3 games is Nashville, LAFC.
No, that he played. He didn't play in the LAFC game.
So we're talking about Nashville, Red Bulls. I mean,
and the Cincinnati game.
And Cincinnati. I mean, Cincinnati, you want to give him 1, I guess.
I mean, he scored it. It was a one-timer. It was beautiful. I give him credit for that. That's what we've been waiting for.
And then there was 2 goals scored against Red Bulls. So how is he scoring 3? I don't see the math. Did he contribute to both of those goals? Messi did absolutely nothing. Busquets did absolutely nothing.
I don't know. Nobody in the chat. Usually they jump on things like that when people are not correct, and nobody has addressed it. So maybe he is correct, and I just can't remember.
Maybe.
So I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm just gonna move on. All right. Moving on. We got, as always, strengths and weaknesses. So we know that your weakness is your defense because it sucks ass. So what is the strength of your team?
Well, real quick, someone asked if Joseph is left on good terms with Atlanta United. No, he did not. The front office and Pineda, he had a falling out with both. So he has a chip on his shoulder. When Joseph Martinez has a chip on his shoulder, the guy scores goals. He hated Orlando when he played for Atlanta United. He scored almost every game against Orlando. He was, that's why they called him the father of Orlando. What did he do against Atlanta? He scored goals. So yeah, I could see him coming in and scoring a goal, and that stadium would go crazy. Like, as much as they want Atlanta to win, Joseph Martinez is still Atlanta United.
What do you think that stadium's going to look like? Is it going to be like one of those Red Bull? LAFC wasn't that bad. I think the Red Bulls is the worst we've seen. Do you think it's going to be anywhere near what the Red Bulls was?
My favorite thing is looking at Twitter to see the reactions of fans. Like, you see what you saw, that Nashville guy with the Messi jersey. What the hell is that guy's life decisions? Like, what is he doing with life?
Well, I was at
If anyone
Nashville.
does,
I was surprised that there weren't more Messi fans out in Nashville. Like it was Nashville heavy. I liked it, but I was surprised. It was the first time I saw it. So Nashville, not Messi heavy.
it's a transplant city, so I'm not really sure. I mean, Atlanta's a huge. I mean, obviously, I mean they get 70,000 people without Messi there.
Right.
I think that there's people that want to see Messi play for sure. So I'm not sure. I'm curious how it reacts.
I'm curious.
Imagine
also.
if you see more Joseph jerseys than Messi jerseys, huh?
But like Atlanta,
You think that's
Joseph
possible?
jerseys, they're not rocking
Yeah,
into Miami Joseph jerseys.
No, of course not. But like,
Mm-hmm.
imagine seeing more Joseph jerseys than Messi jerseys. I mean,
Very well. I mean, very well. I mean, look what he did
that.
for this team for 5 years. I mean, he did everything. Even when he was terrible, everybody loved Joseph. When Joseph left and went to Miami, even though he had sucked for years after that injury, people were still upset. People were still yelling at the front office, writing tweets, "I'm canceling my tickets because you got rid of Joseph Martinez." That's what they did. So yeah, he's still loved in that city for sure. So I'm excited to see what happens in the pregame, what they do for him. After that, whatever. But strengths and weaknesses, right?
So yeah. So talking about ATO's strengths and weaknesses, and you spoke to us a little bit about Giakoumakis and Almada. So what are typically the strengths and weaknesses of the team?
So again, it's changed, but the attack, I think the attack has really gotten better over the, so the attack was good early on in the season. And when you looked at it, it was because of moments of brilliance. Like there were so many goals from Almada that were just happening. And it was like, okay. And then he's had some nice Giakoumakis goals. The goals dried up. They stopped scoring. They were last time we talked, Atlanta was the leading scoring team in the league. They're not anymore. So what did they go do? They went in and replaced their wingers. They're attacking on the wing now. And that's something that we've never had before. So they're all able to connect right now. And that's what's making them exciting, is because they're able to move the ball forward and get these balls to the wingers. And they're able to hit the net. Because you had guys previously before that just weren't able. They were all the same type of wingers. Young guys came up through the academy, maybe scores a nice goal here or there, but it was nothing exciting. Now you've got 3 guys up front that can score goals. And that's, we've only seen a very small taste of it. And you still had guys getting in, like Saba, who scored 2 goals in 3 games. He barely had any time actually to play these games. So how does this look after the break? I'm not really sure. It should look more fluid, because it does kind of seem like madness. Like they all really weren't in sync yet. If they come back in sync here, I think that they're going to be able to score goals finally against you guys.
Aggressive, and you guys play a high line?
A little bit more after these guys have come in. Now, Atlanta is more aggressive at home as opposed to the road there. They definitely play a different style. What do they look like? I kind of feel the way that they went into the Seattle game. I don't really know what we're going to see after this break. After these breaks, though, when they come back, they have historically looked really good, being rested. And, fortunately, these guys didn't have too much playing time in the international window. So I think that's good for them. The only one that I'm a little bit worried about is Miles Robinson, just because of his, injury that he recovered from last year. And obviously he's going to be well needed in this game.
And I imagine that the weaknesses for the team is just the back four. No, I mean, that's typically what I've been seeing, at least on a lot of the highlights that I've been watching for Atlanta.
For sure. The one I was to say the biggest weakness is mental for them. When they don't get the calls that they want, they lose control of the game. And there were 2 goals against Dallas where, if you go back and watch them, they got upset because the call didn't go their way. They didn't call the foul on Miles Robinson, and basically it was just empty netter for Dallas. And then Almada gets fouled, and it was a legit foul. They didn't call it. The entire team stopped, put their hands up, screaming at the ref, and the goal goes in. So mentally, I think that this team really needs to get everything figured out. And that's why I think, Gonzalo Pineda here is he's coaching for his life here, and being a coach for Atlanta United, because it's a new front office. They bring in the best GM in MLS history into Atlanta United, with Garth Lagerwey and everything that. Come on, you know what he did with Seattle. Let's not talk it down.
Chris Henderson?
No, Garth Lagerwey.
Hendo.
Chris Henderson did it with Seattle too.
So it's nice that they brought him in, but like, if I'm him, I would probably want to bring my own technical director. I'd like to bring in my own coach, right? So if he can get them to the playoffs and running hard, sure, this would be his statement win. I think that this is the win. I'm sure every guest that you have on here that says if we could beat Miami, that's our statement win, right? This is like our thing. We're the first team to beat them. No one's, this is Atlanta's chance right now.
Yeah. It's still going to roll that way no matter what until that first team gets the win against Inter Miami.
I still think Orlando's the first team to beat us.
Oh, don't say that. I hate Orlando.
So do I. Believe me, I don't want that to happen. But MLS isn't being as kind to us as they were to them last year, that they rescheduled our game with Orlando because there was a couple days before the U.S. Open Cup final, and we played them 3 days before the U.S. Open Cup final, and they're not saying that they're rescheduling our game, so they're not being as kind. I think this could be the first loss for us, for sure.
That's terrible, though, Danny, to be able – you're like wishing failure upon us versus Orlando.
I'm not wishing it. I'm predicting it, but I'm not wishing it
into existence. I'm going to get you canceled today.
Yeah, I just woke up, Chris. Let's leave him alone.
Yes.
You still take naps, bro? Who takes naps in the chat?
Me.
I
am a hell of a napper. That's like my mutant ability. I could go take like a 30-minute nap, and it'll keep me going for days.
Oh my God.
I don't, but for those parents out there, they know what it's like where you like just lay down with your kid because you're putting them to bed at nighttime. And then next thing you know, it's the next day. Like it just happened. I lay down with my son, and next thing I know, I'm like, holy crap. Like I literally thought that I had missed the show. I was like, holy crap, I missed the show. But I woke up just in time. But yes, that's why I feel like I've been a little all over the place today on this episode. My apologies.
I hate naps.
What? Oh my God, I love them. Naps. When I could take them.
I can't. I either go to sleep or I don't go to sleep, and that's it. A nap? What is that?
But you're a sociopath, and we're gonna get into Tommy later about how you like to cut your sandwiches. So, all right.
Oh God.
Well, you gotta warn him, bro. Why'd you do that?
We talked about toast and steak throughout this year, so I'm excited for sandwich talk.
Yes.
All right. I guess it's time for predictions.
Oh,
Tommy, do you think that the worst defense in the MLS can go ahead and beat this newly retooled Inter Miami squad? And as you are predicting, with Lionel Messi playing at least 30 minutes, which is what I would assume, 30 to 35 minutes, do you think that you guys have the fortitude to pull off an upset of that magnitude?
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
You seem disappointed in me. You were like a disappointed father when I said that.
Because I thought you were gonna give me a serious prediction.
Screw you. Oh, I hate you so much. I hate you so much.
Well, Danny is saying that Atlanta's going to score at least 2, so you just got to hope that Inter Miami doesn't score more than 1.
How many times did they score against us when we played them last time? Didn't Drake block Almada's penalty kick? Like, we basically gifted you a goal. Like, here you go.
That was a sad penalty kick too. Jesus.
It was. It really was.
Yeah, see Imad down there. Hell yeah, they can.
So you think they can? You think they? So you think it's gonna be? You're not assuming you're gonna get a shutout, right? Like that clean sheet.
I think this game is madness. I do. Okay. We were doing predictions on our show a little bit earlier, and we were all predicting at least 4 goals in this game. Yeah, see, 3-1 in Miami. I did the opposite. I said 3-1 Atlanta.
But you know what? 4 goals make sense because we beat you guys 4-0 last time. So I am all with 4 goals going in this weekend. But what is your final score prediction?
Jesus, man.
His final score.
You were a lot nicer the first couple times I were on this show, and then you wake up from this nap and you're just an ass.
Wakes up from his nap, has a bad dream that Aaron Rodgers got injured on turf,
and then realized that it's real. And I got on here, and the first thing Tommy did was start poking me about it. So yes. So what is your final score prediction?
Just real quick before we do this, could we just show the video of the Aaron Rodgers highlight reel, him running out with the American flag, and then we'll get back to my.
That is his career highlight film.
I should have prepared that.
Oh, it's going to be Tommy no times. Jeez, man. It's going to be 3-1 Atlanta.
3-1 Atlanta. Okay. That's wild.
I think you guys press for that tying goal, and we counter, and we get the third one.
Okay.
That's my dream.
No, I mean, it's okay.
And look, Benny Grisson is mentioning that he thinks it was brutal how Atlanta got dominated in the midfield. So maybe it's their time. They're going to be pulling all their chips there. I mean, they're playing in Atlanta, so that's gotta help somewhat, right, Danny? I mean, it's not going to be a 4-0 shutout like how when we beat them. No. I mean, look, I'm trying.
The awkward silence.
I'm trying to give a little bit here, Danny.
The thing is,
man, you got cocky, Daniel. Since I met you last show, like last time we came on here, you were just like, yeah, it's going to be a close game, I think. And now look at you. You win Leagues Cup, and now you're flying high. You're taking naps, and you show up minutes before, and now you're just. Atlanta scores a goal. Ridiculous. Shut up, Tommy. That's what I'm getting.
I think Atlanta scores. I think Atlanta could score. Now, let's be clear. The first time you came on in the first regular season game, I said it'll be a close game. When we played you guys in the Leagues Cup, I said we were going to kick your ass. And we did. And I honestly believe it was 4-0, 55 minutes into the game, and Messi was exhausted after that last goal because he ran the length of the field. I honestly think if he's in better shape, we put up another goal or two because you guys looked really bad that game. I'm not sure what it was. I don't know if it was because it was starstruck or what. I don't think it would be like that every single time we play, but that day, you guys looked really bad. Even that penalty kick that Amado took was out of character. I don't know what was going on that day, but that game was really bad. Well,
I agree. I don't disagree at all.
I'm jumping on you, Chris. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What was your prediction?
No, you should. I mean, you should have just kept rolling because you were just at the finish line with your prediction.
No,
I mean, I can go.
Pastor said that I'm cocky. I'm not cocky. I'm just a realist.
And you're hurt because Aaron Rodgers is done for the rest of your life. So I'll go ahead and I'll do my prediction.
He's retiring.
Yeah, he probably is. And if you guys want to know even more, you can go on the Batter Jets podcast and you can be able to check it out there.
All right? Can I show up on that one?
You should.
We don't play against Atlanta.
I know. Did you see they're doing a Toy Story? Sorry, this rant. They're doing a Toy Story a game. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, they're gonna have the game on like Nickelodeon, and the characters are all gonna be like looking like Toy Story. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible.
It's like how, check it out after you get off this. But yeah, it's the Falcons and the Jaguars. They're doing like they're gonna have a performance. They're all gonna be. I didn't take the Christmas tree down. I'm too lazy, and now it's almost Christmas, so it's too late. But yeah, they're actually gonna look like they're Toy Story characters.
Listen, I had my shutters on my house for the last 2.5 years, so don't worry about it.
You had a Christmas tree up all year?
Hey, it's good to feel the Christmas spirit, Danny. Why are you a hater, bro? Wow.
I told my wife I was going to take it down 2 weeks ago, and she's like, "Why now? It's too late at this point." So
I agree with that.
At least lay it down or something. I don't know.
No, that's even worse, Danny. You're going to shut down the Christmas spirit? All right, so
what are we doing?
This episode has been look, for those of you guys watching and listening, I'm sorry. This has been we're episode 98. This is top 5 worst episodes we've ever done.
What?
No, it's
No,
not
this
the worst episode.
been
This is
a
a fun
disaster.
episode, Danny. It's just not structured. That's all.
Is this gonna? Are you guys gonna do like a cool 100 one where like all your old guests are gonna come on and like say congratulations? I'll be Tommy 4-time. Just come on and say congrats.
I honestly didn't think that, but you know what? For those of you listening now live or that are obviously most people watch this after the fact. If you tune in on when is it? Saturday the game. We do a live post game. We're gonna do a giveaway, a couple free shirts, kind of celebrate the upcoming 100th. So you get on batterfans.com, choose the shirt you want, and we'll explain the next episode. But join us live, and then we're gonna have a giveaway for the next 2 episodes, 99 and 100, and we'll take care of that next episode.
Fun time.
But no, we didn't consider any guests. At least we hadn't talked about it. Yeah, Chris.
Well, congrats, future congrats.
Thank you. So, all right, talking about the prediction, Danny, I don't think it's going to be as brutal as you think, where, God forbid, Atlanta scores 1 goal.
I'm sorry. Tommy, weren't you with us when we had our 1-year anniversary episode?
The cake came out, yeah.
Yes.
And today is my birthday.
Yes.
Oh.
Special one.
Oh,
Tommy,
you got a nap on your birthday? Even better. Happy birthday.
No, but that's why we came on at 10 o'clock. But
What are you, like 45 now?
close. How old do I look? 45?
No, I'm 40.
I'm
So.
right below you. Right below
Okay.
you. I'm getting there. Chris is 45.
Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
All
I'm
right,
the same
Chris,
age
go ahead.
as
I'm sorry to
you, bitch.
interrupt.
Get out
You
of
just
here.
count the grays in the beard. I was doing that while we were there. It's easy.
All right, go ahead.
So, Danny, just quickly, Diego Gomez, I don't know if you saw that I sent you that supposedly he had some sort of like a strain in his calf or something like that, a muscle injury. He supposedly will not be starting, or he's coming back to the team to recover. I don't know how big that's going to be, but that means that quite possibly our boy Taylor is going to see the field, Danny.
I don't think so.
Oh my God. Look at you. You're just shutting everything down, bro. I think you are the reason that we're all over the place. It's all your fault
That
and Aaron Rodgers' fault.
Yeah.
So I think that the game is going to be 4-2. I think that Atlanta's going to score 2 goals. I think that Inter Miami is not going to play as well on turf as a lot of people expect in terms of defensively. I think offensively, I think we'll be able to put some goals in the back of the net, but I don't think that we're going to take a loss on this one. I think it's going to be 4-2. Inter Miami takes the dub and keeps it moving.
Who gets injured on Saturday?
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
Well, Jean Mota is not going to see the field. That's for sure.
No.
He's not going to see the field. If anything, you know who I would kind of be scared that would get hurt is like Ben Kremaki. Because he's like a very aggressive.
You just put it out into the ether. I wasn't going to put a name out there. I didn't really expect you to actually give me a name. I apologize.
But you asked me, so I got to give you a name.
No, you got to say nobody, man. Stop being an idiot.
Well, I already said it.
How do you work with this guy, Chris? Like what? Like he's setting you up for something, and then you do it, and now he's man.
Yeah. No, he's that kind of guy, bro.
Who's not happy on their birthday? Like who wakes up on their birthday, and then gets a nap, and then just comes in and
just starts
Aaron Rodgers ruined my week. Okay, just let me put that out there.
Yeah.
All right. So you're saying 4-2.
This one right
Bobby.
here.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. He might not play, but he might get injured on the bench. So that's a good one. So you said 4-2. What the hell does that even mean? 4-2, you think that Atlanta gets 2. I say 3-1. I think we put up 3. I think we are tied 1-1 when Messi comes onto the pitch on the 55th minute, and then we pull off 2 more after Messi comes in. I don't think Joseph gets on there. Do you think that we play with 5 in the back or 4 in the back, Chris? Because I have a feeling we're going to play with 5 in the back. The fact that Diego Gomez isn't playing, the fact that Tommy just said that their wings are balling out of control. I think we're going to need 5 in the back because we push up with our wing backs way too high. We're going to need those 3 center backs, 2 to kind of go out wide, and then Arroyo to kind of step back as that 3rd or 4th CB, I guess you would say.
I definitely agree. I think we're going to go 5 in the back. The only person that I haven't checked on, and if anybody in the chat knows this, is Sergei Kristov going to be coming back? Is he back? Is he going to be playing this game? Because he's one person that I haven't checked on his like status.
The last time that he left on international duty, it took him forever. He had like a visa problem. It took him forever to get back.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good point. Maybe he's gonna have that same issue again. If he does, I
Yeah.
still think Noah Allen starts the left center back. I think we need to play with 5 in the back if Tommy's right with the whole the wings are probably one of their strengths. So I see 5 in the back. Gomez isn't playing. Kremaski will play. Busquets will play. I think Farias will play. Campana and Messi up top. And I think 3-1. I really do. I think 3-1. And I'm giving you that one just because I find it hard to believe that we're gonna have 2 clean sheets against Atlanta, especially at home. I do think that you'll get that 1-1 draw halfway through the game, halftime 1-1. Give you guys some hope, and then Messi comes on and changes the game
And crushes your soul.
Oh, well, thank you, Daniel. Thank you for giving us that one goal.
Let me tell you something.
It's your birthday, but I'm getting the gift. Thank
Tommy,
you.
Tommy,
Thank
tell me
you.
something. Are you not going to celebrate, especially if you score first? Are you not going to celebrate like a madman if you score that first goal that game?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then,
And
congratulations. You're going to get to celebrate that one goal.
You're going to be the 15-minute winner.
Yeah. It's a lot better than just not scoring at all.
why do I come back here?
You're terrible, Danny. You're really terrible.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm a piece of crap today. I don't know.
That question, though, like, would I be upset if Messi doesn't play? I don't care. Like, I know that people want to see him play. That's cool. Whatever. I want to see my team win a game. I want to see them win this game. I think it's more important. I want to see Atlanta win a game, move on, get some momentum towards the playoffs because you need it. I think, but especially like I said, we looked at the Atlanta schedule. It's tough as hell. So any point that you can get from now until the end is extremely important. I mean, there were a lot of people who were predicting this team wasn't going to make the playoffs because you see Seattle, you see, Nashville, Cincinnati twice, Columbus. People are like, this team isn't going to make it. And then, they get 7 points, after they return. It's not bad. So I don't care if Messi doesn't play. I know people will be upset. People that are paying ridiculously $400 or $500 to get into the stadium, to watch it. I'm just going to be drunk, and I'm going to get one extra beer because I'm going to make sure that you have my Venmo, Daniel, and then I'll take a picture with...
like 50 cents for a beer over there?
Like $8. But you're not cheap, Daniel. You'll give me
a couple.
You'll give me a couple bucks
liar.
for tip. You'll give me a couple bucks for a tip.
You told me it was like a $2 beer and like a $5 full slice, 8 slices of pizza.
Okay, well then buy me a hot dog too. Whatever.
Yeah, get him a combo.
You wanted to bet me $100.
I did.
You see that? So you have a lot of beers and hot dogs. So
Chris talked you out of it.
Yeah, he did. Chris, would you be disappointed if Messi doesn't play?
I really wouldn't, just for the simple fact that I don't want to see him tear an ACL or an LCL or an MCL or an ABC. I don't want to see that happening on this game. So would I be disappointed if he doesn't? I don't think that we need him to win. That's number one. I mean, I don't.
I agree.
I
100% agree with you, Chris. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, Messi isn't playing against Sporting KC." It's like, who cares?
No, I mean, look, they're not.
We have a good squad.
They're not as bad as Sporting KC. I think that if Messi doesn't play, it's going to be terribly close. It's going to be like 2-1 or like 3-2. That Inter Miami. I think Inter Miami's still going to win, but I think that it's going to be a lot more nerve-wracking if Messi doesn't play. So, do with that what you will, guys. But if Messi doesn't play, it's going to be nerve-wracking. If he does play, I hope that he doesn't blow a muscle or something.
Vegas has Atlanta as the favorites, which is pretty crazy.
Ooh, well, because of the whole turf deal.
Yeah, because they don't know if Messi's gonna.
They think he's only gonna play like 10 minutes.
Let's be clear.
I'd probably throw money on Miami.
I've been joking with Tommy for the last couple months about the whole turf thing. But let's be real. People play on turf all the time. There isn't literally an injury every single game, right? So we've been joking around about it, but just because Messi plays or the whole team plays doesn't mean somebody's really going to get injured. Now, we are very fearful. We have, who was it that went down this year in New England? Was it Coco Jean? Like we've
Yes.
seen, especially in New England, that turf in New England. I don't know what the hell that thing is made out of, but constantly people getting injured there. But there's no guarantee that they're going to get injured. So I don't want to see them there because I do think that it's a little more dangerous than regular grass is. But just because they play doesn't mean they're going to get hurt. I do think that Messi's going to go out there for 30, 40 minutes or so. I do think that they'll win. And look, as long as we get out of there healthy and with at least a point, I'm happy. I do think we'll win. But as long as we get out of there healthy and at least a point, I'm good. I don't care.
You know, turf talk's always interesting because we did that. We started talking turf because of when Joseph went down, and we talked about that. I mean, he didn't get hurt on turf. He was in that terrible old Nashville stadium where the grass was like flying up everywhere.
Yeah, before the new one. Huh?
But we did have a lot of players hurt. Miles Robinson was out for the season. He got hurt on turf. There's studies either way. Like no matter how you look at it. I have a friend that's a physical therapist. He works with the Cleveland Browns, and he came on our show to talk about it. And either way, either side can show numbers that make it look like it's good or bad. But when you see the NFLPA come out this week about turf, I don't know.
Well,
That's when things might change.
After that,
I don't see it. This will go away in 2 weeks unless you go see another name like that go down. Like you're going to need a large amount of people to get hurt on turf for this to happen, and I just don't see that happening.
Well, the fact that Aaron Rodgers went down and the World Cup's coming in 2026, I think that's going to be the biggest push, right? Aaron Rodgers is a big enough name to kind of start pushing that topic, and the World Cup coming is a big enough incentive because FIFA doesn't want players to play on those turfs because. I mean,
they're not.
They do get injured, right? Exactly. I know that. I think
they have to.
Weren't. Right. So I think that this is going to be something that's going to get changed eventually, but not before Saturday. And I think you're going to end up being right. Messi will end up playing, but I don't think he starts. But
I have a question here because Rohan's mentioning in the comments, Thiago Almada plays on turf. Bet he gave Messi advice on how to play without getting injured. There's absolutely no way that conversation happened, right? There's no way that Almada's like pulling him to the side, like this is how you don't get injured here.
Unless Messi kind of just floats on air, right? Because he's like godlike.
Because he's kind of Jesus.
Yeah, he kind of just floats around.
Yeah.
Put Richard's comment up. I like that. I think he's got a good comment there.
Okay.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That is
frozen
true.
tundra.
The NFL grass fields during winter months are just as bad as turf. I agree with that. And somebody else had mentioned something as well. If they put grass, for example, on MetLife, there's literally times where there could be 3 games within a 7-8 day span. And at some point, people are just going to be playing on dirt because they're just going to be chopping up that grass anyway.
I tweeted that today.
On that grass. Yes, that's right. That's right. And so I saw that and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty truthful. I mean, I think that there's a team that plays with like this hybrid infused turf grass deal. I forgot what team it was, but I think it's like a team in the Northwest that plays with like some sort of, I think it might be Portland. I have to look at it again. But one of the teams play with like some infused turf grassish thing. I wonder what the statistics are for that.
All right, so let's start wrapping it up, Chris.
Well, like you mentioned, Tommy, one time, last time we had you on, we talked meat and bread or toast, and I was able to find another picture online and pick one picture. And so for those of you that are listening, here's a picture of 2 sandwiches, and you have one sandwich that's cut diagonally and one that's cut from north to south. How do you, Tommy, one time cut your sandwiches?
Oh, man. This is bringing back memories because my mom would cut it straight down the middle. But when I go to my grandma's house, she would do it diagonally. Not a huge fan of my grandma. I like my mom more. So straight down the middle.
Yeah, let's go, baby. You're done, Danny. Get out of here with your triangle crap.
I wish Tommy wouldn't have said that it was because of his mom, because I would have came at Tommy right now. But because he directed it because of his mom, it's almost like a sphere of safety. I can no longer say anything because I'm not going to insult his beautiful mom.
Well, you're probably as old as my grandma now. So, I mean, that's why you cut it the same way as my grandma.
For the record, nobody in the chat agrees with either one of you or your mom, Tommy. So I don't know.
Or his grandma, because his grandma's the one that cut it diagonal.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody agrees with his grandma.
But you know what? They're all wrong. I mean, if you think that's your opinion, I guess that's your opinion, but you're all wrong anyway. So you're not really.
Well, this has been a horrible episode. So let me just throw another horrible
No, it
question at you, Tommy.
Let's go.
Is Super Mario a superhero?
He's a plumber.
Is he a superhero though?
No. He doesn't have any. No, he's not a superhero.
Give him a mushroom. See if he doesn't fuck you up.
I mean, I've done a mushroom before, and I didn't become a superhero.
But Mario does.
I mean, he's getting different mushrooms from different places, I guess.
Dude, he throws fireballs. Oh my god, you guys are the worst.
I probably thought I was throwing fireballs at that time too.
Tommy's the worst. Christ. Let me tell you, Super Mario fuck up Batman.
What?
Listen, Danny said that Batman's not a superhero.
He's not.
He's just a rich guy.
No superpowers.
So I said that's why I said he wasn't a superhero.
Batman.
Batman? He's got.
Yes.
I mean, he's a comic book.
What the fuck?
But
So Super Mario's a video game.
Yeah,
Batman,
Earthworm Jim wasn't a superhero.
or not.
Earthworm Jim is a
Batman?
I used to love that video game.
Superhero
Yeah,
or
sure,
not?
sure,
Iron Man, superhero or not?
sure.
Super Mario.
No, he's just super.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit. All right.
He turns into a raccoon. He turns
Go,
into a
Go
raccoon that
ahead.
turns into a statue.
Chris,
You got a little
him-
wing and you could fly raccoon wings or whatever and go through. Get out.
Can
of here.
Batman fly?
He might have jetpacks.
Whatever, man. Chris, ask him the cruise question so you can get the trifecta and just piss me off.
But
and
I
end
thought
my
we were
birthday on a high
retiring the
note.
cruise.
Well, because
I
I
thought-
wanted to see what Tommy says. I'm 100% sure he's going to piss me off with this cruise answer.
Well, I mean, I'm going to mention the cruise question, but watching your podcast before you came on with us, Tommy, I just realized that you don't know how to swim. So
Yeah.
my question now is,
I think you've asked me this before, but go ahead.
the cruise question from a 1 to 5.
We've had Tommy on so many times already. He probably has.
Yes, Tommy is one of the best guests. We've had you on the most
Thank
out of
you, I
everybody.
appreciate it.
No. After
Yes.
today, I don't agree.
Okay, so just go 1 to 5. What am I rating here?
1, the worst idea for a vacation. 5, best idea for a vacation.
My wife would tell you it's probably a 4 or 5. I think it's like a 0
I fucking hate this guy.
here.
I hate
And but like I would say it might have been like a 2 before, but like everybody that I've known that has gone on a cruise in the past 2 years has gotten COVID. Everybody's gotten sick. I've had 2 people quarantined in rooms. Like they got COVID, got tested. They're like, sorry, we're in the middle of the ocean. You're stuck in your room. No, hell, I'm not paying that much money and then getting stuck on there. Maybe prior to COVID, I'd say a 2 or maybe a 2 or 3. But yeah, screw that. No. Getting stuck on a boat.
Tommy, you're the fucking worst.
I mean,
All
I
right.
guess that's the closest thing of having a waterbed again. I had a waterbed, back in the day, and like that was like that was a great way to like bring ladies in. Hey, you got a waterbed? I got a waterbed over here. That'd be like the closest thing to waterbed.
My cousin had one of those, and I went and I laid down on one of those one time. And how do you even sleep on that thing? Like it's like seriously
not
motion
bad.
sickness.
It's like you're
Yeah,
drunk.
You're literally that feeling you get when you lay down and the room is spinning because like you're not still. That's how it felt. I was like, how do you sleep on this? Like, I guess maybe you eventually get used to it. But that one time that I laid down on my cousin's bed, I was like, nah, never. I could never do something like this.
Well,
They don't
Easiest
doubles
way,
anymore.
easiest way to tell the ladies, I got a waterbed at home. Really? Can I come over and see it? Sure, come on over.
Is that how it went?
I mean, I don't know how.
Mikey
So I
has
popped it
mentioned-
once. I popped my waterbed
That's
once.
bad
Okay,
news.
and like back in the day, punk rock kid, studded belt, could tell you the rest. Just that's what happened. So the line. God, this show's just all over the place.
It's a disaster. It's a disaster.
The line was when girls were like,
Beautiful.
"Oh, can I lay in the waterbed?" I go, "Sorry, you can't wear jeans in the waterbed. I popped him once."
Oh.
It
Oh.
worked. 3 out of 3 times. You're welcome. You're welcome. Get a waterbed. Just call me. I'll give you all the lines.
There was a point where we had like people from like Bangladesh and India watching this show. They've all turned off. Like they're definitely watching something else right now. Like, who are these American gas bags?
Well, Danny,
thank you, Mike.
Mike V is saying that Tommy is the best guest on the worst show of the year.
This is by far the worst show.
Thank you for the kind comments. It isn't the worst show. Okay, this is a show. You could tell that this is a show with friends. So we are having a beautiful disaster of a show. It can be good and bad at the same time.
I think it's just bad. Like, this is episode 98. We got to step it up for 99 and 100 because this was a disaster. All right. So I guess I'll end it with this. Tommy, do you think, I mean, I guess you kind of touched on it earlier with your bet. Do you think Inter Miami makes the playoffs? They're 6 points out, 2 games in hand, 8 games left in the season.
You know, one of the things that when I was making that decision was just looking how congested your schedule's getting because you have those games in hand. You have the Open Cup final, and you've already got a Messi that has been talked about being exhausted. Mm-hmm. But looking at your schedule, thank you.
Here. So we got Atlanta, Toronto next Wednesday, then Orlando Sunday, Open Cup final, then that following Saturday, NYCFC, then Chicago that next Wednesday, then Cincinnati that Saturday, get a break, and then I haven't added it, the 18th right there. We have Charlotte at home, and then the 21st Charlotte away. So for sure congested.
Yeah, and that I mean that international break. Do you foresee your guys going out for that?
Yes.
I haven't seen the schedule.
Yes, they do, and that's why we're not sure if Messi is going to play in that Charlotte home game on the 18th. So it's going to be tricky, but I still think it happens. I think it happens. I think I'm not going to say it again because then Chris is going to get upset, but I do think we lose one game in September and then possibly another one against Cincinnati in October. But I only see two losses, and if that's the case, then I think we make the playoffs. What do you think?
That Chicago game on the road, I think, is your big one, right? Because I think they're in 8th or 9th, 17th or 9th or wherever they're at right now.
Yeah, there's
I mean that's your big one for sure. I think you make it. I didn't want to chance it. I just wanted some cash to play with.
Chicago's 10th right now. 10th place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean they're fighting too. I mean, and then you got to go into that single game elimination, which obviously you don't want. But I mean, you would take it at that point. But then you go into a best of 3. Like if you get there, man. I mean, you guys win like that. If you win MLS Cup, that's just going to be insane about how many games you've played, the minutes that are on all these players. It would be pretty wild that you do it. Now next year, I mean, you guys are obviously the favorites. Easy. I don't care what any other team does. Like that is going to be that, and like obviously you'll have more cap space next year to do other crazy things. You know, I've already seen before this show even started, people are naming all the guys that you guys should sign. I'm sure more Messi friends will be coming along. I think you get there, but I think you're going to eventually get tired.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we make the playoffs. I don't know if I feel as confident saying that we're going to win it all, but I've been saying since June we're going to make the playoffs. I've never doubted it. But
and that's a success.
Winning it all, I mean, just winning one trophy this year was a success. Yeah. Possibly winning 2 at the Open Cup would be crazy. And then making the playoffs, I think, would be another success because we were dead last in the league right before the League's Cup started. So all of a sudden make the playoffs, I think that's a win all in itself. Now, could we win it? I mean, at that point, it's just as, possibly. You can't say no. But I wouldn't put money on that. I'd put money on making the playoffs. But winning it all, that I wouldn't put money on. I sure hope we can. Messi magic is real, but I don't know.
That best of 3. I mean, you got to sweep. At that point, I think you need to sweep to get as much rest as you can while all the other teams are having to do that. You could do that, then you can get rested for the rest of the single elimination games.
For sure, I agree. And just one last thing. Antoine Griezmann is somebody just brought it up, and I saw before we even started recording, somebody was talking about him also. Do you think he's coming to the MLS? Because he's been talking about the MLS for a while. Like people are talking about it now, But I remember he would go to Brooklyn Nets games back in like 2019 and be talking about how he wanted to come to the United States. Like, do you think he comes? And do you think he need? Like, I don't think he's coming to Miami. He's okay going to New York. He loves New York. Do you think he comes to the MLS?
I think so. We were
So do I.
talking with Felipe Cardenas earlier today, and he brought it up and said, is that a player that maybe could go to Atlanta? Possibly, because that was my question. My question was about Turf today to him, saying, does Turf stop them from signing one of these big players? Like, right? Because okay, you got Messi, but like maybe we go out and try to get one of those other big names, like knowing that you've got to play a full season on Turf. Like, would that stop? And he said maybe. But no, I think he makes it here for sure.
I think he ends up in New York or LA. He likes New York a lot, so
is he going to play at Yankee Stadium?
I think he would.
Baseball pitch.
Look, David Villa played there. Pirlo played there. Lampard played there. And if he were to come, he'd be here for when the new stadium opens in supposedly 2026.
That's right, in Queens. Yep.
So
yeah, he got a little while.
So I definitely think that he would come and he would end up there. I don't think he comes to Miami. I think Suarez comes. I don't want him, but I think he comes.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
It's a crazy world we're in. It's a crazy world that, I mean, what you guys have done, what Miami has done to bring Messi and all this, it was needed for MLS, right? Like, you saw the MLS numbers that have gone up. Like, they went crazy as soon as Messi came in. We need change. This league needs change. And, whether you hate Miami or you're just having fun watching what they're doing, this is good for the league, because whether it happens this offseason or next, you're going to see some huge changes to the rosters for sure. And it'll eventually, when Messi finally either leaves or retires or whatever, someone else is going to be able to, everyone else is going to be able to reap the benefits and be able to create some monster teams.
I think 2026 is going to bring a lot of big names to the MLS. And to what Tank was saying, would he pass up playing with Messi again? I don't think Miami's going to go after him.
No,
I don't see. I don't see where Griezmann fits in this team.
Does Messi go? Does Messi use his pull?
But he doesn't. I don't think he wants Griezmann. Like, I can't see him going after Griezmann.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Suarez.
Oh no, Suarez. Yeah, that guy's coming. Unfortunately.
I mean, the question is, how many extra DPs is the league gonna add for all the teams to be able to utilize?
Depends on how many players Messi wants to bring in, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I think it's one. I think they slow roll it.
Yeah, I think it'll be up to 4 next year, and they'll probably increase the allocation money somehow, so you can keep, messing with those contracts of those young DPs and all that other stuff.
You need more quality. You need more quality. Sorry, I know you want to end this, but you need more. You need more quality in the middle of your roster, and I think that's what, when MLS packs all these games together, that's what has sucked about it for the past 3-4 years, especially the COVID year after COVID, when you were trying to catch up with everything. Like those midweek games that you were forced to watch on Wednesdays, man, those teams were just terrible. Because they had to rest their guys eventually, and you had 5-6 no-namers that you just didn't even know who they were.
Do we need Suarez to win Libertadores? Well, I guess. I don't know. There's so many strikers in this world, and Suarez is old. You know what? It's not even him as a soccer player. I just don't like the guy. I just don't like looking at his face. I don't know. Maybe it's because he bites people. I think that's what it is. Ever since that when he blocked that goal in the 2010 World Cup on purpose, and he deflected it out with his hand purposely, and then I forgot what team they were playing. It was an African nation, but I forgot which one. And they went, and then they missed the penalty kick, and then Uruguay ended up winning that game. Ever since then, I wasn't a big fan. Then he started biting people, and I was like, you know what? I just don't like this guy. I just don't. If he comes here, am I going to celebrate when he scores? Yeah, obviously, I'm going to celebrate when he scores. But if I could choose, I wouldn't have him. I'm sure we can find other strikers. I'm not a big fan. Ghana, thank you. It was against Ghana. And if you haven't seen that, go ahead and watch, where he literally blocks the ball with his hand when it was going to go in stoppage time, and then they missed the penalty kick, and it's just a mess from there on out. Will Suarez be a DP or take a pay cut? I can't imagine that he doesn't come for DP money.
Yeah, that's a crazy question.
Yeah.
Do you bring Joseph back next year?
No
way.
Joseph's not back next year.
No way. He's gone.
I think Tata and Messi both gave him his chance.
Yeah.
Right. Every time that Messi touched the field, Joseph was next to him.
Listen,
And they gave him the first 5-6 Messi games. He was out there. They gave him his chance. And I think he plays well with him because he's very good tactically, but he just can't finish. He just doesn't have a minute anymore. I unfortunately don't think he's back. And I wanted him to. I wanted it so bad for him to play well. But
Me too.
It's just not happening. It's not happening.
well, and he's been given so many opportunities, like you said, Danny. I mean, you're talking about giving him the all the time he can possibly have in the first couple games with Messi, and you're not flourishing with that.
Yeah, no.
You're just getting penalty kicks. It's not working.
And look, even Messi was even giving him his penalty kicks. Like, you take the penalty kick. Like, he was giving him, like, boost your confidence. I think he gave him so many opportunities, and I really was hoping that Messi would somehow make that click, and it just didn't. And it's really disappointing, man, because I like that guy. I like Joseph. He gets a bad rep sometimes about his attitude or whatnot. He wants to win. I like him.
If he stops doing that dummy shit, he might score a couple extra goals.
But that's why he's so good, though. I forgot who was it, a Robert Taylor goal where he did that and he took a defender with him, and nobody gave Joseph credit for it. But if you watch that back, he's the one that opened that space.
He's the one that opened it up.
That pass. And he doesn't get enough credit for the things he does and the way he plays. Yes, sometimes he does the dummy a little too much. You kind of want him to have a killer instinct every once in a while. But I think Joseph doesn't get enough credit for how well he plays off the ball. And that's
He used to have the killer instinct.
Yes. And imagine him having that killer instinct and also being mindful enough to have the wherewithal to make runs that would help other people out. Because he has that still. Mentally, he's still there as far as the game goes, but finishing is just not there anymore. And unfortunately, with a 9, you want everything, especially the finishing. And he's just lacking there. But if he stays for the league minimum of 650,000, I would keep him. I would keep him, but not for DP money, which is what he's probably looking for. Tommy, let everybody know. Look, everybody loves you, Tommy, even though you came on and gave us probably the worst show in our history. Everybody still loves you. So let everybody know where they can find you.
Tommy ATL 96, Scarves and Spikes. We do our show right before you guys on Wednesdays.
Much better than ours.
And it's there. we don't take naps before our show.
Yeah, no, exactly. And they have great
and
guests.
Wake
on
up
also.
Angry. Yes,
they have great guests on also. So
yeah, we if you want to check out an episode, I think that this week's is specifically a good one. We, like I said earlier, we interviewed Felipe Cardenas. He's got an article coming out tomorrow. He did a one-on-one with Tata. So he didn't really give us too much there, but there'll be an article coming out on The Athletic tomorrow. It seems like Felipe is now like the official Miami writer around here. He used to be the Atlanta guy, but obviously, Jesus. This guy keeps breaking me every time. But it's a good interview, and he talks a lot about the league, Messi, and covering him. So if you want to take a listen, we just put it out, a little while ago.
Chris, please check him out, because I mean that's a great listen, especially this week because they're talking Inter Miami along with Atlanta United. So go ahead and check that out. Chris, any final thoughts? Are you rocking Atlanta United gear if Atlanta wins?
I can't because I don't have Atlanta United gear, but if I did, I'll rock it for like an hour or two, after the game on the podcast, whatever. But yeah, I got a couple thoughts, which I think I just Richard Greenberg is correct. Grumpy Danny is a lot of fun sometimes, not all the time. Okay.
Not after I got locked out of the stadium for that Messi presentation.
Chat, you guys have been. Go ahead. Sorry, Danny.
No, I was saying that Grumpy Danny wasn't fun.
No,
and I got locked out of the stadium. No.
So, guys, you guys have been a lot of fun, and you guys amazingly kicking in the chat. Guys, do us a favor. Check out the podcast for Tommy if you want to get more information on the Atlanta side. Okay, guys? And while you're at it, get that thumb, put it to work, like and subscribe. And Tank, you mentioned earlier that the show is crap without Messi. There you go, buddy. You got what you asked for. We said Messi like every 5 words now. So now we're better. Okay, Bruno? All right.
He said we suck without Messi.
Yeah, we suck without Messi. Like what? Before Messi came, we didn't suck. So we need
I don't
Messi
think.
to not
No, I don't
stop.
think Tank was watching us before Messi. So maybe
Yes,
he's right.
he was. His
I
name
don't
was
think he
Bruno
was.
though before. Yes, he was.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he was. Well, thank you for watching, Bruno. You share the same name as
Let me
me.
tell you something.
At
I
least my
love when
middle
He's
people
name.
say we
good.
suck.
Bruno's a good guy.
I love when people say we suck. And let me tell you something. Chris has been getting killed in the comments recently. So, all right. Well, this was episode 98. Episode 99 after post game after the Atlanta game. Like we said, we're gonna be giving away some T-shirts. Actually, let me take that back. Not T-shirts. We'll probably give away 2 T-shirts maybe. So join in. We're just gonna do it in the chat. You just say what you want. Then we're gonna raffle it off at the end of the episode, and then we'll figure out something to do for episode number 100 next week.
Send me the link. I'll be at the stadium. I will be wasted. Send me on, Daniel. Let's talk about the win.
Let me tell you
if
something.
you send me that link and we win, 99 is going to be even better. even better.
Oh,
and then bring me back for 100 just to gloat even more.
All right. So you heard it here. For episode 99, Tommy said he's going to make an appearance. So we're going to
I'll either be crying or celebrating.
No, you're going to be crying. You're going to get smacked up. It's a carry. Do you really think? I know you said that you're going to win. I know you said it, but you don't really believe it, right? Like, I know you say it, but you don't believe it.
Wow.
The Mighty Ducks are my favorite movies, okay? Anything could happen.
Cheers.
Got it. All right. Got it. All right. So if you are listening on audio, thank you for listening all the way to the end. Please give us 5 stars. Today, you know what? Don't even leave stars because I'm scared of what you're going to put today. So don't comment. Don't leave any stars. I don't want you to touch anything today. Like and subscribe if you are on YouTube, and trust that we will do better next time. And and we even got Seth Rollins on the show. What a disaster. This show is just a disaster. I'm not even going to sign out. It's just going to end here. All right. Until the next one, have a good one.
It was awesome.
Oh, what a horrible.
Turf.